You know those people, right? The ones who walk into any room, and without saying much, they just have this presence. When they finally do speak, everybody leans in to listen. It's not about being the loudest person, not at all. It's something else entirely.
So what is that secret sauce? Well, it has a name: executive presence. It can feel kind of mysterious, but you definitely know it when you see it. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and break down exactly what it is, and more importantly, how you can build it for yourself. So what does that actually mean? Well, at the end of the day, executive presence is all about inspiring genuine confidence. It's that magic mix of traits that makes people not just hear you, but actually trust you and believe in what you're saying. It's what turns a manager into a real leader. Okay, so the big question is, how do you get this quality? Here's the good news. You're not just born with it. It is absolutely a skill. And like any other skill, you can learn it. And the whole foundation of that skill, it's all about communication. It's about learning the language of leadership. But to really change how we communicate, we've got to dig a little deeper. I mean, why do we say when we get nervous? Or why do we sometimes use these huge, complicated words to explain a really simple idea? Turns out, these habits are just symptoms of something going on under the hood.
And that brings us right here, to the psychology of status. See, the way we talk is often a direct reflection of how secure, or let's be honest, insecure we're feeling in any given moment. This one idea is the root cause of so many of our communication slip-ups.
This quote from Professor Adam Galinsky at Columbia Business School, man, it just hits the nail on the head. He says we lean on jargon when we feel insecure, basically as a way to puff ourselves up and seem like we have higher status. It's not about making things clearer, it's a total defense mechanism. Okay, so let's break this down because this is super important. Over on the left, you've got low-status communication. It's all about appearances, right? It's trying to sound important. But look at the other side. High-status communication could not care less about appearances. It has one goal and one goal only: clarity. It wants to be effective. The point isn't just to be heard, it's to be understood. All right, enough theory. How do we actually start making this change? How do we move from that left column to the right one? Well, we're going to start with the #1 verbal habit that just destroys our authority: filler words. Yeah, we all use them, right? Like, basically. And look, in a casual chat with a friend, who cares? But in a big presentation or a job interview, every single one of those little words chips away at your credibility. It just makes you sound hesitant, like you don't really know your stuff. So what's the secret weapon here? It's not about trying harder not to say No way. The trick is to replace it with something way, way more powerful. A simple, quiet, intentional pause. And here's the crazy part, the thing you have to remember. That little pause that feels like an eternity to your audience, it sounds like pure confidence. They don't hear a mistake. They hear someone who's in total control, someone who is thinking before they speak.
And the best part, you can actually train yourself to do this. This 5-step exercise, let's call it the ping method, is an amazing way to build that new muscle memory. All you need is a buddy, a glass, and something to tap it with. Every time you say a filler word, ping, they tap the glass. It might sound a little intense, but trust me, it's one of the fastest ways to build that self-awareness and swap out that nervous habit for a powerful pause.
Okay, so we've talked about speaking, but what about writing? These exact same principles apply. Think about it. Every single email you send is a chance to project confidence and presence. Your inbox is just as important as the boardroom. I mean, just look at the difference here. A subject line like, "Help, please," it's vague, it creates stress and extra work for the person who gets it. But a clear, direct subject line like, "John, can you assist me with the Samuels proposal?" Now that shows respect for their time, and it communicates a clear purpose. You're already sounding professional before they've even opened it. Here's another great pro tip. Confident communication is efficient. Use the to field for people who actually need to do something. Use the CC field just for people who need to be in the loop. It shows you're organized, you're thoughtful, and you have a plan. It's a small detail that says a lot about your competence. All right, let's zoom back out and bring this all home. When you start to get a handle on your own internal psychology, and then you sharpen these communication skills, both spoken and written, that's when you start to build that thing we talked about in the beginning: true, authentic, executive presence. And this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. Real presence isn't about being perfect. It's not about being some flawless robot. It's about being authentic.
People are drawn to leaders who are just comfortable being themselves, who can even admit when they don't know something. That genuineness, that's what builds real trust.
Another huge piece of the puzzle is listening. I'm talking about really listening. When you can stop worrying about what brilliant thing you're going to say next and just give someone your full attention, you project incredible self-confidence. You're showing them you're there to understand, not just to perform.
And really, all of this, the pauses, the clear emails, the listening, the authenticity, it's all powered by one thing: emotional intelligence. It's the self-awareness to know why you feel insecure and the empathy to understand how your words are landing on other people. It's the absolute foundation for being believable, trusted, and respected. So, I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Don't try to fix everything at once. That's impossible. Just think about tomorrow. In one meeting, maybe one phone call, can you catch yourself and consciously replace just one single with a silent, confident pause? Because that one small change, that's the first step on the entire journey.